Thank you so much, Chair. This project, Chair, was under a guarantee, having a period of 1.5 year. And it's in this guarantee period that the contractor can be called back to come and rectify any defects on this project. So there was no any amount the council had produced to pay the contractor.
Answer the question from the Vice Chair. There was 470 remaining to be paid. What is the standard procedure on any project under CDF? There is a retention that is kept for obvious reasons. What is that retention? What is the percentage, and was it done?
Thank you, Chair. The percentage, Chair, as guided is 10%, but as I area alluded, this contract, Chair, was under guarantee.
What do you mean?
Guarantee, Chair, was that the contractor really works on the project and is fully paid. Then there is a clause in the contract which brings back the contractor in case there are any defects.
Vice Chair?
Is that the correct way to manage contracts? You're Director Engineering? What is your title?
Yes, yeah, Director Engineering.
Is that the correct way to manage contracts of this nature, Director?
Thank you so much. Maybe at this point, Chair, maybe I would also try to engage our procurement officer, probably maybe to shed more light, especially on the document which we had area used on this contract.
Procurement.
Thank you, Chair. As stated by Director Engineering, the contract was on a warrant, which was 1 year, 6 months, which we thought that putting it on a warrant would guarantee us a lot of time. Looking at the retention, if a retention of 5% was given to the contractor, as the area on, other contractors would neglect the works. They would say that, no, we are not coming to work on the defect, then you can use the retention, which would find that probably the retention would not be equal to the amount of works that you needed. So we had put this contract on a warranty of 1 year, 6 months, in which the contractor had agreed to come back and rectify the defects. Thank you,
Any
sir.
documentary evidence for that?
Sorry, Chair, unfortunately, I think we didn't come with the contract document.
Vice Chair?
Procurement and Director Engineering. First of all, Director Engineering is informing your committee chair that the retention would have been 10%, and procurement is telling us 5%. Second discrepancy is that the guarantee from Director Engineering was 1 year. Procurement is saying 1.5 years. My question is, according to you, which one is a better way of managing a contract to protect defects? Pay the contractor the whole sum after he's completed the works, or retain funds and pay at the end of I'll use your word, the guarantee period? Which one is better? You pay everything to the contractor, or you retain, if in this case 10% would have been 25,000 kwacha to come and work on the way. Which one is better according to you?
Maybe before you respond to that, who is telling the truth? The Vice Chairperson just brought out 2 issues. He will say the retention is 10% and that this guarantee was for 1 year. You are saying that is 5% guarantee for 1.5 years. Which one do we take? Procurement or director?
Let me take it up, Chair. I think the guarantee warranty period is 1.5. I should apologize on the period, and also ride on what the procurement officer said. It was 5% on retention.
Then before you answer the Vice Chairperson's question, which one do we believe? Your verbal story or documentary evidence? Because you have said you have no evidence anywhere. Show us where this particular contract was so special from what the ministry or the government has guided, where you keep 10% retention, but you went in a different mode. Maybe before you come in CS, let them answer the Vice Chairperson's question. Procurement.
Thank you, Chair. I think on the boreholes, Chair, we had decided to ride on the warranty, looking at the percentage that would remain. Most of the drillers, they are not based locally. So as I had said earlier on, Chair, you would probably find that you reserve a retention of, for argument's sake, 25,000. Then you find that the damage exceeds more than 25,000 as a defect. You call upon a contractor who do not want to come back, and they would do, at the end of the day, you'll be forced to use the 25,000 and now top up more money for you to do the works. So we thought that probably we go for a warranty period on this type of works, such that if we have any defect which would probably even raise above the retention of 25,000 or so, the contractor would be compelled to come back on site to do the works. Thank you, Chair.
Vice Chair.
My last question is, the contract sum was 253,000 kwacha. You paid him 252,530 kwacha, leaving a balance of 470 kwacha. What was the balance for?
Procurement.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe the Director of Engineering would probably come in and assist.
Thank you so much, Chair. This balance share is arising from the measurement sheet which we attached probably when we are preparing an IPC. You find that this bore should have been probably at argument's sake 90 meters, but when we assess that there is enough water, probably at 85, then there was no need of us to reach probably maybe 90 meters after the water pump testing is done.
Director Engineering, you are the person who said that this mode of contract on this particular borehole meant that you were to pay the contractor the 100% to do the borehole. And that's what you took, the warrant or guarantee mode, that you want the contractor to do the works and pay 100%. There was no measurement. The works were to drill a borehole, and the borehole was done. After drilling the borehole, you were supposed to pay. What is this 470 that you left in the accounts? Because you meant to pay him everything.
Chair, in as much as we would want to pay the contractor everything, but it's also dependent on the pump testing of the borehole. If we see it fit, Chair, to say that we have reached, maybe as I said in my earlier remarks, 85 meters, there is no need of us maybe to go beyond that because of maybe probably the formation.
Director, sorry, we don't want to be hypothetical. We are talking about this particular borehole. Don't bring assumptions or examples. We are talking about this particular borehole that has been questioned. What happened? Vice Chair.
Would you show us where the IPEC is so that we understand? Because from your submissions, you are assuming.
Yes.
You're assuming. I've worked for a drilling company before. Pump testing will just tell you the liters of water per second of that bore, and not to be a basis of payment. You pump test to establish how many liters you are able to draw per second from the borehole that you have drilled, and not what you are submitting. Are you able to take us to the IPC so that we understand? Because you are telling us a story which, as it were, we could have phoned you and not invited you to this committee to get those details. Could you lead us to the details through the IPC? I submit, Chair.
Director. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Director, help us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think an IPC was not touched on the appendix.
Don't think. Tell us what happened. This is your report.
Yes, sir.
Don't say I think. It's your report. You know what is here. Where are the IPCs to show us the payments to this? First, you have told us that you used the other model where you had guaranteed instead of the usual standard of retaining a 10% for defects that will arise within a period of a year. But you said, no. A very good justification to say, no, as we thought that once we do this, in case the damage is so much than 25, what would happen? So can you show us? Show us the detail. Because as we are an evidence-based committee, we don't want stories. We could have left you. You see, coming here is money. So if you don't show us whatever you are submitting, without evidence, how do we proceed? We just agree, no, this is what happened. We are not doing justice to this system or to the country. Council Secretary, tell us, you have your former Council Secretary who was there. Mr. Mwale, tell us a story about this.
Chair, I think I do agree with my officers. I think at the time we were giving out these boreholes, the issue was should we go for 10% or we go for a warranty? And they indicated that a warranty was better because it will guarantee. It was not just one borehole by that time. I think we did about 4 or so borehole. So I think that's why we opted. On the money, Chair, I suspect, although the director is, the amount looks like maybe there are times when there are IPC, when they do an IPC. There are certain items that they do not find on the ground that they do not agree. You'd find that the contractor's sum is 253, and you find that by the time he's doing an IPC, there's certain monies that remains. That's what I see this money.
Okay, assuming that is what happened, show us the IPCs and show us also the model that we are not against that. The contract and this borehole collapsed, it had defects. Did it have defects?
Yes, Chair.
It had?
Yes.
So the remedial works were done freely? Okay. Yes. So we want to see the copy, submit those copies of the contracts to our secretariat. Next question. Honorable for Mfumbwe.
Will come tomorrow.
Mfumbwe.
Thank you, Chair. 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 Are you there, Chair?
Honorable member from Fumbwe.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I take you to page 18. Chair, when I was going through this document, I realized that this council, KAWAMBWA, of course there are the challenges actually in disbursing the loans. Later on they managed. And here on page 17, that's where the query is starting from, and the query is failure to recover loans. After they did the needful, I've realized that from the loan repayment, from what they were expecting, they had recovered about 20%. So 20% in comparison to other councils, I feel like they have done better than others. However, I wanted just to find out that they've told this, your committee, that the action taken is management wishes to report that the council has written to loan beneficiaries reminding them to pay their monthly premiums according to the loan agreements. And when I look at Appendix L, I found that, yes, the letters have been written to these beneficiaries. So I wanted to find out that after having written to the beneficiaries on 15th of March 2024, what has been the response in terms of loan repayment? Has it improved further, or what is happening now? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me, Chair, to ask the Director of Finance. DF.
Thank you, Chair. The response is not improving. It's almost the same. The repayment, the number of people are repaying are almost the same, in short.
Why are others not paying? And what actions have you suggested?
We have written to them, but if you are to look at the guidelines that we are given, there are no other measures that we are supposed to take apart from reminding them. But from what we are getting from here, we'll still learn from the other councils who are performing well, how they are doing it.
We are happy that you know that there are councils which are performing well. We have so many examples that are doing very well, and some of them they are in your province. Why don't you go and learn from your friends? Because what you are doing, switch off your mic. What you are doing, you're not helping. You're not helping. Some of these problems, you are the ones who are even contributing to the people not paying. The way you're managing things. These are public resources. The government has said, let us help the people with these soft loans so that they can empower their lives. But you people, the way you're administering this, where has the raw government system gone, Amwale? You can't justify this. These are huge sums of money. Someone gets a loan, must pay back. So we shall watch KAWAMBWA as you undertake this. Council Secretary, page 8. Page 8, I need your guidance. Appendix 2.1, unspent funds, community projects. During the year under review, KAWAMBWA Central received 15,331,978 monies for community projects. Expenditure during the year was only 541,817. The balance as at 31st December 2023 was 13,790,161, representing unspent funds under this vote of community projects. 90% was unspent. Pambashe, again it received the same amount, 15,331,978. Expenditure by 31st December 2023, only 1,541,817, representing a 90% same unspent. The first question is, did they have the same number of projects? And again, what contributed to this low expenditure on community projects, which were recommended by the CDF committee? Your response is, management wishes to acknowledge the observation of the auditor and wishes to report that the unspent funds on community projects were due to late receipt of funds which delayed procurement processes. There is a council that appeared yesterday, Mwense Council, under the same environment as KAWAMBWA. Were you the only council which received monies late that contributed for you not to do very well in community projects? When your friends performed wonders, there is a council there, Chifunaburi, another council, Chembe. These are same councils like KAWAMBWA. What will be your response over this? You cannot accuse government for late receipt. These monies are sent to all the councils, same amount. Even now, we have received some money. There is a 2 million received, another 5 million you have been receiving. They send the same amount, same day. Why do you want to say late release? May we know from you. Maybe the vice adds on before they respond, or maybe respond first, Council Secretary.
Thank you so much, Chair. This was unfortunate, Chair, but the peace of mind I bring to you, Chair, is that this man has been, these projects which were not implemented have been implemented, and also that, like rightly put in the report, at the time of audit, this money was still in the account, but it has been spent.
And the audit was done way in 2024. 6 months or 5 months into 2024. This money was still sitting for the projects. Vice Chair.
Chair, I beg to get a reconciliation. The table by Auditor General says the balance as at 31st December 2023 was 13.7 million kwacha. In your response witness, you have tabulated and given us a table that the balance as at 31st December 2023 was 5 million for KAWAMBWA and 5.8, actually 5.5 million for KAWAMBWA and 5.8 for Pambashe. Is this the true story, or the balance date is 2024 and not 2023?
Actually, we had made an amendment this balance of 5.5 and the 5.8 respectively were 2024, as at December 2024.
Okay.
So as at December 2023, the balances are 13.7 million for both, as at December 2023.
Thank you so much, Chair, for the correction. Mr. Martin, my senior in Zalasa, I'm constrained to ask further questions, Chair.
you see, it's tough, yeah. But these are, you see, you and us here, people sometimes they see the emotion that we attach to this. These are not easy monies by any single government to release to us. And when these monies are released, the MPs end at CDF committee meeting. They make resolutions for the projects. Can you do them? The people who are supposed to run with this, the wheels of government, are the civil servants, yourselves. But you don't take things serious. Now, what are you telling by your actions? What are you telling government? The people of Pambashe, of KAWAMBWA, are saying, we want these schools, we want health posts. The government releases money. Then you don't. By December, these monies are still in your accounts. Okay, let's go to the month of audit. The month of audit, it was 5 months. You still had 5 million. In the old currency, 5 billion. Does it move you? I'm happy the new council secretary, you are acknowledging. But we should have heard that by December 2024, all the projects were completed. But they were not completed. So now, on this project management, you new council secretary, go and make a difference. If Mr. Mwale failed in KAWAMBWA to do these issues, make a difference. We cannot be begging you to go, please wake. It's like a small child in those days of the upper Mwambas. You beg a child to eat. Eat, baby, eat. That's what you're doing. Can you wake? Here is the money. You can't be doing that. Morally, as a Zambian, you cannot be doing this. We can do better than this. Especially that we have shining examples. Mwense, Kafyue, Shangombo, Vubwi, Karurushi. We have those who are serious. And they're getting the same pays like yourselves. Honorable Member for Chavonga.
Chairperson, I just wanted to find out from the Council Secretary. Council Secretary, is what is on page 8 the same as to what is on page 13? Is it the same thing? The chart on page 13? Are these the projects you are saying they have now been implemented? Because I can see Appendix 3, 2022 community projects. And in column 1, 2, 3, 4, say brought forward 2022. Are these the same projects? Are these the projects that you have implemented according to your experience?
Chair, the projects that have been implemented are those which were approved in 2023 and implemented in 2024. Like,
so my question is, are they part of the ones that the chairperson is asking?
No, Chair, but maybe let me ask the Director of Finance, but as from my knowledge, with what we have here, the projects that were not implemented are for 2023.
Because CS, on page 8 is saying 2022 projects. On page 13 is saying 2022 projects. So I'm saying, is what the chairperson laboring to talk about, and you indicated that now they have been fully implemented. Is it the table that you have given us on page 13 that these projects now for 2022 have been implemented? Is that the position?
Let me ask, allow me to ask Director of Finance.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. There are projects on this table where they mentioned 2022, and there are also projects where they said 2023 community project. So in short, the 2023 community projects are the same that which we are discussing. I submit.
Honorable Kamondo.
Yeah, Thank you, Chairperson. Actually, what we are looking at, maybe let's go to page 13. Page 13, Community Projects 2022, Appendix 3. You have shown to this committee, when you look at these works, we are trying to find out. Brought forward 2022, you had 20 projects. And out of these 20, for KAWAMBWA, the 20 projects actually, you are saying you have implemented them. And the work in progress is 0. When we go to Pambashe, you had 28 projects. And then you have implemented 28 projects. Work in progress is 0. So now we wanted actually to reconcile. For us, you are telling us that you have implemented these projects. But from the way you're answering, it's like now you are saying you've not done them. What is the current position?
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I think the Chair, you will recall very much that the CDF started in 2022, the new CDF we're talking about. And the implementation, I think, started somewhere in August. I think that's when we are getting the guidelines. That is the 2022. So in 2023 was the actual implementation for 2022. So you'd find that the implementation for 2022 happened mostly in 2023. Now, within this, we also started implementing the 2023 in the same year. So you would find that in 2022, if you look at that table, the 2022 were done. If you go on the next table, there's a 2023 also showing that we also implemented this, which is showing that 16 were approved, 3 were done, and 10 were in work in progress, meaning we did these jobs. So to me, Chair, the issue that we didn't do it is not there. The position is that all the projects were done. The only thing is that the implementation, yes, all the projects were done. We did the 2022 and 2023 in the 2023 period. The time the 2024 auditors were coming, they found actually the 2023, they never even talked about it. They only talked about the 2023 because the money was still there. We were still implementing. So as a council, we are learning, first of all. We are learning new guidelines, and you remember at that time, the issue was the approval process was coming from the central government. You have to submit letters to head office. So between the same period, that is the time things were now ironing out. They started writing memos. Can you start now getting these approvals from the province? So that is where you find we started now picking up and implementing. So to me, I can tell you that between this period, because this is the period I was there, we implemented the 2022 and also 2023 project, as indicated in this.
So my guidance is on the issue which is here. You did the projects, but they were not done by December. They were still work in progress. And the money was sitting 13.7 million, which you have agreed. That's the question. Why should you have money if projects are completed and handed over?
Yes.
And you again agree that by December 2024, you had 5 million still sitting. So the issue which is here is, are you implementing the projects within the expected time frame? You find that the delays that you are taking them, these projects become costly. That's a fact. And the president has said, when you procure a project, within a stipulated period of time, they should be handed over. And not remaining money in the account. When you are keeping 13.7 million by December 2023, and this is what your report is saying. We are reading your report. Are you with us? And you are agreeing this is the figure. And by December 2024, monies for community projects, again you had 5.6 million. So what we are saying is that you should expedite implementation of projects. The challenge which is there is the time from the CDF committee meeting to when you hand over. We have a case example, 2 years, a project that was procured, implemented, not handed over. That means it's not benefiting the community. You get a point? So, when is a project handed over? That's an issue. When is it completed? So we know that at a certain point, we still have a project here I was reading, which has not yet been procured, because we are facing challenges. So those are the issues that we should do clear. And that's why we have shining examples like your friends, who have no issues. Why should you have issues? We know that over time, it takes 2 years. For you, it's no problem. But for us, it's a problem. If you delay to complete, you are going against the principles. Let's go, we get a story also on page 19. Analysis of the performance of desks. For this one, I want you to read, Council Secretary. The first table there. Read what is on the table.
Thank you, Chair. Name of the council, KAWAMBWA Town Council. Constituents, KAWAMBWA Central and Pambashe. Planned target, 6,574.
Desks.
Yes, Chair. Cost of desks to be procured, 9,870,000. Delivered, 3,072. Cost of delivered desks, 4,609,000. Undelivered, 3,502. Cost of undelivered desks, 5,261,000.
So when we read this, what do we pick ourselves? You were supposed to procure how many desks? Within the financial year 2023, 6,574 number, costing 9,870,000. The ones which were delivered were only 3,072 out of 6,000. And the cost of undelivered desks at the end of the day, you have just read 5,261,000. So where we are seated here, this is a worrisome situation. Now you come to your response. Management wishes to acknowledge the observations of the auditors and wishes to report that the unspent funds on procurement of desks due to late receipt of funds. This is where personally I don't agree with you, which delayed the procurement processes. Why I don't agree with you? Your friends, similar councils, were receiving monies. You want to pass your back and say government delayed to release funds. When the issue is between yourselves, you know why you're not doing the correct things. And when were you audited?
In April 2024, August 2024.
August. August is how many months from January?
It's 8.
So the whole 2023, January to December, add another 12 plus 8 months. You couldn't deliver these 3,000 desks. The response you say, but you have since delivered. Show us the appendices where you were distributing these desks to which schools. Where those schools acknowledged the receipt of the number of the desks. This is where the issue is. You get what I'm talking about?
Yes, Chair. I'm getting you.
As simple as that. You procure from this. And you find that some of these contractors were failing. Some of them even now have not delivered. Because there's no proof. I've checked the appendices here. There's no, you have just done the what? The ledgers. Ledgers, a document that you have stamped yourselves. We wanted Deb's office, schools, GRNs, goods received note and goods issue note. You issue the desks, 20 desks to this school. They acknowledge. That is the thing that you keep on your file. Why should we be lecturing to you when you are the competent, learned people employed to do the same? And these systems have been there. Mr. Male, you were our senior. Why should someone lecture you on this? And why have you neglected to be doing simple basic things? So, someone who takes this report, 5 million undelivered worth of desks, we can go on and on. We wanted to demonstrate to you. Take audit serious. Right now, the auditors are going around your places. You know, avoid those workshops, whether you are invited by who. Go and answer to the audit. The millions that the government is pumping into councils should be accounted for than you attending those workshops. Workshops have been there, even if after audit, which may take 2 weeks, you find workshops. Those workshops will continue to be there. So when you chief officers, critical officers, offices, director of finance, planners, you are with the auditors, you furnish them with, you have no problem. You are defined by what comes out of your office, whether you are a good officer. So we just wanted to demonstrate to you, these desks, our children, they need to be sitting on these desks in KAWAMBWA. So we want you to furnish us with a detailed list of the acknowledgement from the DEB's office. Give our office. We see that these desks were really procured. If we are not satisfied, we shall call you. With that said, I want to withdraw the immunity that was given to you. From now, you're on your own. We wish you well. Council Secretary, you're a new one. Go and do a good job. Post your house in order. These are basic things that you don't need to. But engineer, show us your skills. Procurement, do your part. We want that document to be furnished to us. We thank you for your appearance.
Well, there you have it. KAWAMBWA Town Council has made its submission before the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and that's on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And still to make an appearance before the committee is KAWAMBWA Town Council. And so just now, as we stand by, we take a short break. Keep watching Parliament Television.